Previously on Cinema Therapy.
People grow and grow apart sometimes.
But he can see she's not happy.
Yeah.
No. Let's try this again.
So are Nate and Lily and Doug a toxic group of friends? She's transferring her frustration with her job and with Miranda to her friends. They're maybe coming on too strong, but what they're calling her out for is accurate.
And Nate, he hears the complaints every night. She's not around anymore.
Yeah.
He's borne more of the brunt.
He loves Andy as she was, but he is unwilling or unable to grow with who she's becoming. It's not as simple as like her friends just need to support her 100% whatever she does.
All the time, no matter what.
Some of who she's becoming is a betrayal of values, but she is still lying to him and to herself because she doesn't want to face the simple truth of this is what she wants now. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Gandalf, he's a dog. Oh, I'm Alan Seawright. I'm a professional filmmaker who needs therapy.
And this is Gandalf, who is the most fashionable member of our crew. That's right, we're back at The Devil Wears Prada because in the comments section, we got blasted.
Yep, and we're gonna see if the blastees were right or the blasters were right.
Because we got some feedback from y'all in the comments that we didn't pay enough attention to Andy's boyfriend and friends.
We done did a dumb bad and we was wrong.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
No, I don't know that we were. I like how you said that though, but no, I think we focused on Miranda and Andy because their relationship is the center of the movie.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Andy's relationship with Nate, but basically as it was defined by her relationship with Miranda.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is an episode of a new series called Toxic or Not.
Is it toxic or not? It's toxic. Toxic or not? Jono's come to find out if it's toxic or not. Alan's there too.
Where we take relationships that we find in movies that a lot of people label as toxic, and then we put my peepers on them as a licensed therapist.
Ew.
And, well, not like that. And get your insights as a screenwriter and a director. First of all, let's come to a consensus about what toxic means. Because we say toxic, but we don't really have an agreed upon definition.
And also, we say it a lot. What is that definition, Jonathan?
The Oxford Dictionary says that it's poisonous or harmful or pervasive in an insidious way.
Okay.
So that sounds pretty
That's
extreme.
like a high bar to clear to qualify as toxic.
So are Nate and Lily and Doug a toxic group of friends?
We're gonna find out.
Are they just aggressively mediocre?
I don't even think they're aggressively mediocre. I think they're actually okay. But we'll find out. We'll get there.
Oh, hot take. Okay, let's do this.
Got a job at a fashion magazine? Mm-hmm. Oh, what is it, a phone interview?
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, sure.
Miranda Priestley is famous for being unpredictable.
Okay, Doug, how is it that you know who she is and I didn't?
I'm actually a girl.
Oh, that would explain so much.
Look, seriously, Miranda Priestley is a huge deal. I bet a million girls would kill for that job.
Yeah, great. The thing is, I'm not one of them.
Nate's so proud of her.
Jobs that pay the rent.
The jobs that pay the rent.
To me, this reads, A, as believable dialogue, well delivered by good actors, and B, friends giving each other crap.
Right.
I don't see a lot of toxicity here, but I'm inexperienced.
Well, the difference between playful teasing and hurtful sarcasm is intent and consent.
Right.
Right? And so the intent is to give each other crap to make each other laugh, but everybody consents and it goes in every direction.
Yeah, Nate gives Andy crap about the quality of her wardrobe. Was it a phone interview?
Yeah, which is a pretty good dig.
It's a good line. It's a good line. It's really funny. And you can tell she's not actually hurt by it. A, because she gives it back to him later. And B, she knows that he likes her.
Yeah.
They're sleeping together. They live together. She knows it's a joke.
Yeah. So far, not bad.
Okay.
So far, we're good. Let's keep going. Folks, changing habits or a lifestyle can be hard.
Like actually dressing for success instead of picking your clothes randomly from a pile of stuff.
Or being consistent with exercising.
What a seamless segue.
Okay, shut up. We've been using Trainwell to stay consistent with our workouts, and it's been so helpful.
I love working out and have been doing it for a long time. It helps me to have energy when I'm on set for long days, and there's neuroscience behind this. It also helps level me out for my ADHD, which is moderate to severe. So I can actually write things instead of staring at a blinking cursor on a screen questioning my life's choices.
For me, exercise is about sanity, not vanity. My anxiety, my sadness, my anger, I get it it out in the workout, but my biggest struggle has been consistency. Because I love to go to the gym by myself. It's my me time. But since I don't have a workout buddy, I haven't had anyone to hold me accountable and make sure that I go. And I finally have been hitting that mark because I have Dante, who is my Trainwell personal trainer that I check in with, and he holds me accountable and helps me to fine-tune my workouts.
AJ is my trainer. He's been helping me hit my goals, which is all about vanity, zero sanity. I just want to look like Thor.
And I love how flexible it is.
Totally. Like, I can work out when I have weird hours on set or when I'm traveling, which I have to do a lot for work. I can also get adapted workouts for the generally crappy hotel gyms at the places that I stay.
And I can work out at home or at the gym.
It is so nice to have the flexibility and to not have to think about or plan my workout.
Yes, everything is planned for me. No extra mental load, all of the benefits of a good workout.
So click our Trainwell, formerly Copilot, link down below.
go.trainwell.net/cinematherapy
to get 14 days free with your own personal trainer.
She is not happy unless everyone around her is panicked, nauseous, or suicidal. And the clackers just worship her.
The who?
They call them clackers. The sound that their stilettos make in the marble lobby, it's like clack, 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 clack.
Okay,
They
so
all act like
Nate
they're
later
or something.
has a hard time switching gears.
Right.
Because he's used to being in,
He's used to this.
I'm supportive boyfriend of a woman who hates her job and hates her boss.
Spend another $300,000 reshooting something that was probably fine to begin with to sell people things they don't need. God. I'm not even hungry anymore.
So it's not that he's a bad boyfriend per se. He's really good at being this boyfriend.
Yes.
Give me that. There's like $8 of Jarlsberg in there.
This was the thing that I identified the most with in this entire movie was like, I put expensive cheese in that grilled cheese.
1 year. And then I can do what I came to New York to do. But I can't let Miranda get to me. I won't.
Easy there, Tiger.
So again, she's not really making a change here. She's saying, okay, I'm not going to change, but I'm going to appear to change to them. And he, like you said, being a kick-ass boyfriend.
Yeah, stated so far. For those of you who think he's not, I will agree with you in some points in a minute. But right now, that's what she's saying. And she's saying, this is a stepping stone gig for me. And he is all aboard. He's like, okay, I get it. I hear you. I'm paying attention. And I'm supportive. So far, so good. Again, all the table setting says, pretty great boyfriend, pretty great group of friends, not toxic. And there's going to be some things that surprise us later on then, sadly.
I looked it up online. It's $1,100.
What?
Wow.
So she
And I
brought
have
gifts.
some products, Mason Pearson hairbrushes, a little Clinique.
Oh, damn it. I love your job.
So see, they're all on board except for Nate.
Do you want it? Give me. You want? Oh,
Give me!
I think she likes it.
Oh my God! This is new Marc Jacobs! This is sold out everywhere. Where did you get this?
Miranda didn't want it, so.
Again, this feels like a real conversation.
It really does, yeah.
I cannot take this from you.
I cannot take this.
Yeah, she stuffs it full.
Why do women need so many bags?
Shut up.
You have one, you put all your junk in it, and that's it, you're done.
Fashion is not about utility. An accessory is merely a piece of iconography used to express individual identity.
And it's pretty.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is, it turns out that there is more to runway than just fancy purses.
Looks like someone's been drinking the Kool-Aid.
What are you? Nate.
I got it. It's yep, the dragon
Oh,
lady.
Miranda.
Let me talk to her.
No, okay, I need that.
I'll tell her to get her
Lily,
own scrambled
Okay,
eggs.
so they're playing hot potato phone.
Hang on, it's gonna answer. It's gonna answer. The top is gonna make. Give me the phone.
So
Hi, Miranda.
this is what they do. It's playful teasing.
Yeah.
They joke around.
Absolutely.
They took it too far,
I'm leaving
knowing
right
how
now.
stressful her job is.
Now, you guys didn't have to be such assholes.
Relationship stuff.
They took it too far.
They did take it too far. And they, I guess, got caught up in the moment and they thought it would be fun to, I mean, we've all been there. But
Yes.
they are being insensitive right now with this joke because they know how much her job stresses her out, but also means for her future.
Right.
The issue is there's a difference between playful teasing and taking it too far to where now you're infringing on someone's life.
Yes.
And they cross that line. Does that make them toxic? No.
It makes them good friends who did an oopsie.
Yeah.
Which we've all done.
Right. Now, I do have genuine issues with Nate in this scene.
Yes.
All the friends are like, they're happy. Ooh, I love your job. It's a purse. It's this $1,000 purse. It's this $1,100 phone. They're reaping the benefits and they're happy. Like, our friend's bringing us all this cool stuff. And Nate is clearly put out. And in my opinion, he's too put out for this circumstance. Because later, you make the argument that Andy's betraying her values, that she's stepping on her friends, and that she's gone too far into this to be who she used to be. Like, that's a conversation worth having. But here, she's just getting a little bit of enjoyment out of her job that she hates that's a stepping stone.
To be fair to Nate, at this point, he hears the complaints every night. She's not around anymore.
Yeah.
He's borne more of the brunt.
Yeah.
It does track to me that they're happier about the stuff than he is, and he's kind of like, man, look, you can't buy me off with this stuff. Like, I'm kind of suffering here.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think?
It's not great.
Yeah.
He's not being supportive, and he's not coming clean about it yet.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Andy for a second, because she calls her friends a-holes.
Yeah, a bit strong.
Yes, definitely strong, but also, like you're saying, an oopsie. But she's legitimately frustrated right now, but the fact is, she's transferring her frustration with her job with Miranda to her friends. Because she is just stressed out of her mind.
Yep.
Hello? Quit? Are you sure?
I failed. She's gonna fire me anyway. I might as well beat her to the punch.
Wow. Andy, good for you. Congratulations. You're free.
Yeah, well, listen, I'll call you later.
Okay.
So this is a bittersweet moment for her because she was starting to enjoy the work and to get fulfillment from it, or at least to thrive in it. And it was still stressful, and Miranda was still really tough to deal with, but she was starting to kick butt at her job.
She was starting to be good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's seeing from her the things that she enjoys or that she's thriving, but he's starting to be kind of bitter about it.
A bit, yeah.
Because it's taking away time from their relationship, time from the friendship. She's always late. She's often on the phone. And again, that doesn't make him a jerk, but that means that their goals are starting to get out of sync.
They're starting to get misaligned a little bit.
This is the Achilles heel of Nate as a character, is he loves Andy as she was.
Yes.
But he is unwilling or unable to grow with who she's becoming. Because some of who she's becoming is a betrayal of values. Like she's starting to hurt people she cares about, right? But some of it is her discovering something that she never knew she could be passionate about, and turns out she is.
What would be his role in an ideal scenario? I mean, is it just as simple as like, well, how do you feel about that?
I think so.
Is that it?
And then being willing to pivot. That's, I think, Nate's biggest weakness is he doesn't pivot. He already thought he figured out what Andy and this job meant. Andy hasn't admitted to herself yet that she's starting to thrive here and enjoy it, and that there's a shift happening in her where she wants to be part of this world now.
Right.
And so if she hasn't admitted it to herself,
she certainly hasn't admitted it to Nate yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, could he
There's cues that he could pick up on.
But I also
There's nothing explicit yet.
I also don't think he's an a-hole for not seeing it.
He's a well-meaning bumbler at this point.
So she said she quit, but now she's working on the science project for Miranda's girls.
I went to Data DeLuca. Man, they charge like $5 a strawberry there. But I figure, since you quit your job, we should celebrate.
Listen, Nate.
Wait a minute, you quit your job, but you're still working on a twin science project? Well, that's big of you.
Okay. After we talked, I realized it doesn't make sense throwing away all those months of hard work. I just had a moment of weakness, that's all.
Yeah, well, either that or your job sucks and your boss is a wacko. All right. Whatever. It's your job.
Nate. Come on. I'm still the same person I was. I still want the same things. Okay? Promise.
She's trying to convince him or
Same
herself.
Andy. Better clothes.
Same Andy, better clothes.
I like the old clothes.
In a healthy relationship, you grow together. Or if you grow to want different things out of life or what a relationship looks like. Because, for example, we see later on, he needs a present partner. There were a lot of comments in our last video that Nate's a jerk because he should have supported her. He knew that this was going to take up a lot of her time and energy, and this is what she was going to do, and he needed to have her back. And that's true to a point. But there's two people in the relationship.
Right.
Because Nate needs a present partner.
My personal life is hanging by a thread, that's all.
Well, join the club. That's what happens when you start doing well at work, darling.
Sometimes in a relationship you say, look, I need a present partner, and I don't know if I can do this for a year. And you need to give all of your time and energy and effort to this.
Right.
And that doesn't line up. And that can be had in a healthy, respectful way of saying, then maybe we don't date right now, right?
Yeah.
Or, yes, Nate could have said, I understand this is for a year. I want you to know, like, long term, I need you. I need you in my life. I miss you. I'm willing to have your back during this time period. Like, if this is the new you and this is truly what you want.
Wonderful. Go with God.
I respect you. Go on that path. But she is still lying to him and to herself because she doesn't want to face the simple truth of this is what she wants now.
Yeah.
And he is this great boyfriend when it comes to her doing what he thinks he should do. As long as she quit her job, he brought her expensive strawberries. They were going to have a wonderful dinner. And yeah, like he does. He kind of becomes a jerk when she tells him that she's still working there. And it's part feeling like she's betraying herself by changing.
And it's part feeling betrayed by her change.
Yeah. And so I don't like his behavior. I understand where it comes from, but I can say the same thing about her.
Yeah, she's still saying, same old Andy, new clothes. Not same old Andy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Missed his birthday because she was working and flirting with the guy from The Mentalist, or being flirted with, but liking it. Which, to be fair, he's a very attractive man.
He has the hair that I wish I had with my hair. That wasn't words.
The Mentalist guy does?
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I kept trying to leave, but there was a lot going on, and, you know, I didn't have a choice.
So with my accountability kink, just like with any kink, there's a wrong way to do it.
Mm-hmm. So this was accountability?
The saying I'm sorry and then saying I kept trying to leave, but I didn't have a choice, both of those are false statements.
Yeah.
Technically, she could have left. Technically, she had a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And the least she can do in this moment is own that.
Yeah.
This is excuses.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'm not just dumping on Andy here because we're going to see Nate at not his best now.
Here we go.
And go to bed.
Can we at least talk about this?
He's pretty much stonewalling.
You look really pretty.
And he knows that was a dig.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He knows. He knows it's great writing and it's a great performance. He knows it's a dig because he knows that that is what she is worried she's turning into.
Mm-hmm. It's also where she's putting her time and energy.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, him saying nothing, whatever, I'm going to bed. Again, I understand where it's coming from.
He's hurt.
He's hurt. It doesn't mean it's not a petty way to handle the situation.
It's not good.
So far, I'm seeing pettiness. I'm seeing immaturity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing toxicity.
I was going to say, I don't think that rises to the bar of toxic.
Easy. Okay.
Okay, Lily.
It's a little much. It's a kiss on the cheek. Now, that's something to react to the way she looked back at him. But...
Lily, he's just a guy I know from work.
Yeah, that looked like work.
Well, you're making a big deal
You
out
know, the Andy I know is madly in love with Nate. He's always 5 minutes early and thinks, oh, Club Monaco is couture. For the last 16 years, I've known everything about that Andy. But this person, this glamazon who skulks around in corners with some random hot fashion guy, I don't get her.
Lily.
Have fun in Paris.
You going to Paris?
Yeah, it just happened.
I thought Paris was a big deal for Emily. Or...
Great, now you're gonna give me a hard time too.
Okay.
Okay.
What made me laugh is how classy everyone looks, and Nate literally
shows up.
Yeah, he's got like a dad coming from a soccer game, and everything just like schlubbiness, just like, you going to Paris?
Hey.
Like, he is one beer away from being a cast member of King of the Hill. Not to be splitting hairs, she wasn't skulking in a corner.
No, she was right out in the middle of the room.
She was right in the middle of the room. They were talking. Like, to an outside observer, they were talking. It didn't even look too much like flirting. And then he kissed her on the cheek, which, you know, okay, but also it's a kiss on the cheek. For some people, especially in the fashion industry, that's a hello and goodbye.
It's literally hello, yeah.
Yeah, but Lily makes some good points, just like the Andy I know is always on time. She's madly in love with Nate. Mm-hmm. And here's all the ways that you have changed. And then Nate says, I thought going to Paris was a big deal for Emily. And Andy gets defensive, understandably, but in that case it's because Nate touched a nerve in her own conscience. And I don't think her friends are toxic. They're maybe coming on too strong, but what they're calling her out for is accurate.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as like, her friends just need to support her 100% whatever she does.
All the time, no matter what.
Or she completely sold out who she was. Like there's neither camp that is 100% in the right. There is a alternate universe where she owns what's going on with her to her friends, and her friends say, cool, thanks for letting us know. We're here for you.
Yeah.
You know, as you do this, as you go for this. On one hand, she needs to just own it. And on the other hand, yes, they could be more supportive. They could be more understanding, and they could not assume the worst.
Yes.
Right? Fumbles, relationship fumbles. These are things that you learn and grow from. Toxic friends, I don't see it.
Andy.
Okay, here's the scene we analyzed before. Let's see if we feel differently.
Didn't have a choice, okay? Miranda asked me and I couldn't say no.
I know, that's your answer for everything lately. I didn't have a choice. Like this job was forced on you. Like you don't make these decisions yourself.
No, he's right.
Because I work late all the time and because I missed your birthday party and I'm sorry.
Come on, what am I for?
You hate
flag for Nate. You were hurt that she missed it.
Fashion is stupid. You've made that clear.
Andy, I make port wine reductions all day. I'm not exactly in the Peace Corps. You know, I wouldn't care if you were out there pole dancing all night, as long as you did it with a little integrity.
Here's to jobs that pay the rent.
You used to say this was just a job. You used to make fun of the runway girls. What happened? Now you've become one of them.
That's absurd.
Hey, that's okay, that's fine. Just own up to it. And then we can stop pretending like we have anything in common anymore.
I'm sorry. Just 1 second.
You know, in case you were wondering, the person whose calls you always take, that's the relationship you're in. I hope you two are very happy together.
Okay, he's 100% right, but he didn't have to be a dick.
Yeah, exactly. That is the first thing I've seen that approaches the arena of something toxic.
Right.
Because toxic is deliberately meant to harm and to hurt.
Yes.
And that was said to hurt her.
Yes. All right, so now that we've watched all of these friend and Nate and Andy interactions, does that change the opinion that you had when we watched this movie a few months ago to talk about Miranda and Andy?
My opinion has shifted a bit on the friends.
Okay.
Because I wasn't paying super close attention to them before. That wasn't what I was taking notes on for our episode.
Right.
I kind of just thought, well, they're just a group of 20-something friends, right? And, you know, there's highs, there's lows, there's pettiness, there's immaturity, there's supportiveness, now I think they're kind of mediocre. I think
they're not terrible friends.
No, I don't think they're terrible friends, and I definitely don't think they're toxic people. But I also think when I say mediocre, I don't mean mediocre as people. I mean mediocre at friendship.
Yeah.
And I also think Andy is mediocre at friendship.
Yes.
At this stage, because here's the thing. This is not just the story of a woman who discovers her true calling and is on a rise to fame in this new career, and her crappy friend should just get on board and support her. Because the fact is, Miranda is the devil in The Devil Wears Prada. She is a strong, powerful woman who is accomplished, and we should celebrate that. But being strong and powerful and accomplished in a female does not give you license to be harsh and cruel. Miranda is toxic, guys. She is pervasive and poisonous and harmful. And Andy is working for that woman who is tearing her down, belittling her, and somehow finds a way to thrive.
Yes.
And to flourish in this environment where she was told that she couldn't. And that is admirable, and that is badass. She also doesn't give the time and energy to her friends that she used to.
Right.
She also calls her friends assholes when at worst they were being out of line. She's not honest with herself, and she's not honest with Nate about where she is and what she wants. Does that make her a bad person? No, because once again, people aren't all good or all bad. She's a complex, nuanced character.
She's a very good person who's struggling through a difficult time and makes some mistakes.
Yes, which brings us to Nate and Lily and Doug, who are supportive friends who buy drinks, who praise Andy, who bring her expensive strawberries, who are there for her when she is struggling and give her support, and who also can be harsh, can be critical, cannot see the writing on the wall to pivot and be supportive, because it's not all on Andy to communicate what's going on for her.
They should be able to read more into it maybe than they do. But also Andy wasn't giving them the information directly.
Yes. And the big lesson from this film for me is that people are complex, and we don't see that a lot in movies because sometimes characters aren't. So what's my advice? Andy, check yourself. Be aware of what's going on with you. Communicate it to your friends. Friends, check yourself. Sometimes playful teasing goes too far, and sometimes people grow into something else. Nate, you need a present partner. That's fine. Andy needs to focus on this job. Maybe you're not in a good place to be in a relationship with each other, and you don't need to be a dick about breaking up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's all valid.
So, Jonathan, we have to come to a conclusion. Toxic or not?
Not.
There you have it.
If you disagree, build your case.
No, seriously.
No, seriously. I'm fine if you let us have it, but let us have it by building a case. I want to know in the comments below. And
he's a licensed marriage and family therapist. He's been doing this almost 20 years. He's pretty good at it.
Bring it on. So until next time.
An accessory is merely a piece of iconography used to express a sense of individuality.
It's so pretty.
And watch movies. Especially The Devil Wears Prada. This is a really good movie.
It is.
Don't forget to check out Trainwell. Click the link in the description for 14 free days with your own personal trainer. We need to thank our patrons who help bring you these episodes. Patrons get ad-free extended director's cuts and a whole bunch of other stuff. Wonderful people like
Flor Durantes,
Rebecca Musser,
Kira. There's 2 R's there.
There's 2 R's, that's true. Josh Exodus.
Nurek.
2 R's again.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
Nurek.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, patrons.
Patrones.
Sí, muy guapo.